There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, who walk in not according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life has set you free in Christ Jesus from the law of sin and death. For God has done what the law, weakened by the flesh, could not do, by sending his own Son to the likeness of condemnation, condemned sin in the flesh. In the flesh. For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. For to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the Spirit is life and peace. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God. You, however, are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if in fact the Spirit of God dwells in you. Anyone who does not have the Spirit of Christ does not belong to him. And I'm about to drop a cold 20. After this flip, I'm going to drop cold turkey. Psych. But after this flip, I'm going to drop cold turkey. It's something to you, and he said, do you not know Greek? Are you not the Egyptian then who recently stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 men of the assassins out into the wilderness? Paul replied, I am a Jew, for Tarsus is Cilicia, a citizen of no obscure city. I beg you permit me to speak to the people. And when he had given the permission, Paul, standing on the steps, motioned Are you not the Egyptian then who recently stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 men of the assassins out into the wilderness? Paul replied, I am a Jew, for Tarsus is Cilicia, a citizen of no obscure city. I beg you permit me to speak to the people. And when he had given him permission, Paul, standing on the steps, motioned with his hand to the people, hush, to the people. And when there was a great hush, he addressed them in the Hebrew language, saying, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $1. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 25, 80. And after this flip, I'm going to drop cold turkey. And I'm working. And after this, And looking intently at the council, Paul said, Brothers, I have lived my life being God in all good conscience up to this day. And the high priest Ananias commanded those who stood by him to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, God is going to strike you, you whitewashed wall. Are you sitting to judge me according to the law? And yet contrary to the law, you are ordering me not to be struck. Those who stood by said, Would you revile God, him, priest, high priest? Revile God's high priest. And Paul said, I did not know, brothers, that he was a high priest, for it is written, You shall not speak of the ruler of the people. Now when Paul perceived that one part went Sadducees and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, Brothers, I am Pharisee, a son of Pharisees. It is with respect the hope and the resurrection of the dead that I am on trial. And after this flip, we're going to drop cold turkey. And after this flip, I'm going to drop cold turkey.